All right, so you've sent over a ton of stuff this time around. And like it seems like there's this like kind of a recurring theme in all that feeling of just like being overwhelmed, right?
Oh,
Like there's just too much to do and not enough time, and you just know there's got to be a better way,
mm-hmm.
right? Like you're looking for more efficiency, I guess.
Yeah, less chaos.
Yeah, like less chaos, more like just like getting things done and feeling good about it.
Right. Getting things done,
Yeah.
not just having them on the list.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting how much of what you sent kind of comes back to this idea of time blocking. Have you heard of time blocking before?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's not a new idea, but it's one of those things that if you actually like do it and do it right, you can really change how you approach your day,
Yeah.
right? So we're going to like really dig into how it works and why it can be so powerful because like when you're feeling overwhelmed, I think sometimes like structure is actually like a relief.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like almost a comfort in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, like you know what you're supposed to be doing when you're supposed to be doing it, and that can actually like calm the chaos.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
you know, I noticed one of the things you sent was about this journal notebook for time blocking by a Listallian, and it really highlights that time blocking, it's not just making a to-do list.
It's not just a list.
It's about actually taking those tasks
Yeah.
and like giving them their own time slots.
Yeah. Giving them an appointment on your schedule.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's get practical. Like, what does that actually look like in action? Like, how do we time block?
Well, so you know how you make an appointment in your calendar to go to the dentist?
Yeah.
You would do the same thing for your tasks.
Great.
So instead of just having on your to-do list, write presentation, you would actually block off maybe like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Oh, see.
and say presentation draft, no emails, phone on silent. You're giving it that protected space in your day.
Interesting. So, like, it's a meeting with yourself, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. A meeting with yourself. And you know how you wouldn't just blow off a meeting with somebody else?
Well, like,
You've got to show up for yourself.
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what makes that so much more effective for actually getting stuff done? Because I think we've all made to-do lists, and we're like, okay, I'm going to get to this, and then something else comes up, or, you know.
Yep.
So what does the research say about, like, what are the actual advantages of doing it this way?
Well, there's quite a few benefits that are highlighted in the material that you sent over. First off, distractions. Huge.
Yeah.
Right? So when you know you have a specific block of time dedicated to a specific task, you're way less likely to get distracted.
Makes sense.
So those emails, those text messages, the social media, whatever, they're not going to like tempt you as much because you know this is my time for this thing.
Right. Like, it's kind of like you set up this mental boundary.
Yeah, you have. It's a mental boundary. This is focus time.
Right.
This isn't for anything else.
It's almost like you're giving yourself like these mini deadlines throughout the day, right? Like, okay, from 10 to 12, I'm doing this.
Absolutely, yeah. And that leads right into the second benefit, which is being able to do deep work.
Deep work. Right.
That's where the magic happens. So when you're not constantly switching between tasks and you're able to really focus, you get into that flow state.
Yeah.
You produce higher quality work and you're more efficient.
And that's that flow state that people talk about where you kind of lose track of time and you're just like in the zone.
Exactly. You're in the zone. You're present.
Yeah.
You're not worried about what's next on the list. You're just there.
Right.
And then there's procrastination, which we all struggle with.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Right. Time blocking can really help with this because it makes those big tasks feel less daunting.
Interesting.
So instead of like, oh my God, I have to write this whole report, you're thinking, okay, from 2 to 3:30, I'm going to work on the introduction.
I see.
It breaks it down into smaller chunks.
Right.
So it feels more manageable.
So it's almost like you're tricking your brain into thinking it's not this huge, scary thing. It's just like a small, manageable thing.
It is. It is. It takes the scary out of it.
Yeah.
And then finally, time blocking really improves your awareness of how you're spending your time.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because we're often terrible at estimating how long things actually take.
Yeah, right.
So when you actually schedule your time and then you track it, you start to get a much more realistic picture of your day.
Right, like where your time is actually going.
Exactly. Where is it all going? And that can be really eye-opening.
Yeah. And I like that it's not just about like productivity, it's also about like self-awareness.
It is, yeah.
Right, like understanding your own habits and patterns.
Absolutely.
You know, we talked about some of the things in the research about like the really common obstacles to good time management.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, like why people struggle with this. So how does time blocking like help us tackle those specific problems?
It really does address those things head on. Procrastination, like we just talked about, breaking things down into smaller chunks, makes it way less likely you're going to put it off. But another biggie is multitasking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
multitasking. The myth of multitasking.
The myth.
Right. Like, I feel like I'm one of those people who's like, oh, I can do like 5 things at once. And then I'm like, wait, I didn't actually do any of them well.
Yeah, exactly. And you're exhausted.
And you're exhausted, yeah.
Yeah.
So how does time blocking help with that?
It forces you to focus on one thing at a time.
Right,
So no more answering emails while you're trying to write a report.
right. Like, actually scheduling separate time for email is revolutionary, I think.
It is. It is. And I think a lot of people feel like, oh, I have to be constantly checking email, but that's actually not true. You can designate specific times to check it, and then you can focus on other things.
Yeah, and I think there's this kind of like fear that if I don't check it, like the world's going to end.
Right. But it doesn't.
But it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's hard for people to let go of. But it's so freeing when you do.
It is. It is. Another thing is just lack of structure. A lot of people just kind of go through their day reacting to whatever comes up.
No, I'm definitely guilty of that.
Right. Time blocking gives you that framework. It's like a roadmap for your day.
Okay, so instead of like letting the day happen to you,
Exactly.
you're like, okay, I have a plan.
You're in control.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
And then there's the overcommitting thing, which I think is a huge one for a lot of people. Like saying yes to too many things without actually thinking about, do I have the time for this?
Yeah. You want to be helpful. You want to say yes.
Yeah.
But when you see it all laid out,
Right.
you're like, oh, wait a minute.
I actually don't have time for all this.
I don't.
Yeah.
So time blocking can really help with that because it forces you to visually map out your schedule.
Right.
So you can see, okay, if I say yes to this thing, am I actually going to have the time to do it well? And if not, then maybe it's time to say no.
Or delegate or something.
Or delegate, or, figure out a different solution.
Right. Okay, so we've talked about time blocking as a method.
Yeah.
And one of the resources we have is this Listalian Journal notebook for time blocking. So can you talk about why a physical journal like that actually enhances this whole approach?
I think that's so important. There's something about a physical notebook. It's tangible, it's visual,
Yeah.
and you can actually structure your day or your week or even your month in it.
Interesting.
It's like this concrete thing. It's not like a bunch of notes that are scattered around,
Right.
Digital notes or, whatever.
It's not like on your phone where it's like competing with a million other things.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's also something about the act of writing things down.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you're like this, but I feel like when I write something down,
I'm the same way.
it like cements it in my brain more than if I type it.
Yes, totally. Like it feels more intentional.
Intentional, yeah.
Like it's a commitment.
A commitment, exactly. And the cool thing about a physical journal is that you can go back and review it.
Right.
So you can see, oh, this is what I planned. This is what I actually did. Did it work? Did it not work? You can reflect and adjust.
Well, that's interesting. So it's like you're actually like analyzing your time.
Yeah.
Right. And how you're using it.
And then you can make changes based on what you learn.
Yeah. Now, the Listalian Journal has all these like kind of specific design elements
It does.
that seem really helpful.
Yeah.
So can you talk about some of those key features and why they actually matter for time blocking?
Absolutely. So one of the things I love about it is the paper.
The paper.
The paper.
Okay.
It's this thick premium paper that prevents ink bleed through.
Oh.
And it might seem like a small thing, but when you're writing and you're planning, you want it to look nice.
Mhm.
You don't want your ink to be smudging all over the place.
Yeah. It's got to be like a pleasant experience.
It does. It does. Because if it's annoying, you're less likely to do it.
Totally. Like if you can't even read what you wrote because the ink is bleeding through.
Yeah. So that's one thing I really appreciate about it. Another thing is that the pages are numbered.
Oh, that's helpful.
So you can easily like log and track your tasks and your schedules.
Right.
And you can refer back to specific days or weeks.
Yeah, like if you're trying to like find something or remember what you did like a month ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it also has a built-in table of contents.
Oh, that's fancy.
It is fancy.
Okay.
So you can quickly access different sections like your weekly planning pages or your monthly goals or whatever.
So it's like organized.
It's organized. It's like a brain for your journal.
Yeah.
And then the layout is really cool too. It's a 2-page spread.
Go. I like those.
Yeah. So you can see your whole week at a glance.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah. So you can see all your commitments. You can see how much time you actually have.
Right.
And it really helps you to balance everything.
Like it gives you that big picture view.
It does. It does. And then the pages are dashed lined, which gives you a lot of flexibility.
Okay.
So you can create whatever kind of time blocks work for you.
Right, like different sizes?
Different sizes. Some people like to do hourly blocks.
Yeah.
Some people like to do half-hour blocks. Some people like to do bigger chunks for like deep work.
Right.
It's really up to you.
So it's customizable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it also has a back pocket, which is really handy.
A pocket.
A pocket, yeah.
What do you put in there?
You can put little notes. You can put reminders. You can put things that you need to reschedule.
Oh, like stuff that didn't get done.
Yeah, stuff that didn't get done.
Okay.
Important things you don't want to forget.
Right, like a little catch-all.
A little catch-all, yeah.
Okay, so for someone who's listening to this and they're like, okay, this sounds great. Time blocking with a journal,
Yeah,
I want to do this.
yeah.
What are the steps they can take to actually start using it effectively? Like, what does that look like in practice?
Okay, so the first thing is define your priorities. What are the most important things you need to get done this day or this week?
Right.
Once you know what those are, then you can start creating your time blocks. You're going to divide your day into intervals,
Okay.
and you're going to assign specific tasks to each interval.
Right.
And don't forget to include time for breaks.
Yes, breaks are important.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. And then use that 2-page spread for weekly planning.
Great.
So you can see your whole week at a glance.
Right, like we talked about with the stallion.
Exactly. And don't overload your schedule.
Right.
This is a big one. A lot of people, when they first start time blocking, they're like, okay, I'm going to cram everything in.
Yeah, I'm going to be so productive.
I'm going to get so much done. And then it just backfires because something always takes longer than you expect.
Right. Or like life happens.
Life happens. So be sure to include some buffer time.
Buffer time. That's a good tip.
It is. It is. It's like a little cushion. So if something runs over or something unexpected comes up,
Right.
you're not totally thrown off.
Right.
And then finally, track and adjust. So review your journal entries regularly, see what worked, what didn't work, and make changes accordingly.
Right. So it's an ongoing process.
It is. It's not like you do it once and you're done.
Yeah.
It's something that you refine over time
Right.
as you learn more about yourself and how you work best.
Yeah, I like that. And, the research also talks about some of the common mistakes that people make when they're first starting out with time blocking.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right. So what are some of those and like how do we avoid them?
Well, we already talked about overloading your schedule, so that's definitely one to watch out for. But another big one is just not sticking to the plan.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Right.
I'm like,
Uh,
oh, I made this beautiful plan and then something shiny comes along and I'm like, ooh,
Mhm.
I want to do that instead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the key here is to treat your time blocks as if they were appointments with other people.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you wouldn't just like blow off a meeting with your boss, right?
Right, yeah.
So give yourself that same respect.
Right, like actually honor those commitments you made to yourself.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, what else?
Another mistake people make is not taking breaks.
Yeah, I think that's a big one. Like, I used to think that being productive meant working all the time,
Yeah.
but I've learned that that's not true.
It will backfire.
Yeah.
It will backfire. You'll burn out.
Yeah.
So it's important to schedule in breaks throughout the day.
Right, like actually put them in your schedule.
Yes.
Like, make them an appointment.
Give it to an appointment, yeah.
Okay.
Even if it's just for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, get up, stretch, walk around, get some fresh air, do something that's not work-related,
Right.
and then come back to your work refreshed.
Yeah, I think that's so important. Like, you can't expect your brain to just be on all the time,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Like, it needs time to rest and recharge.
It does. It does. And then the final mistake I see people making is not reviewing their progress.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
So you create this beautiful time blocking schedule, but then you don't actually take the time to see how it's working.
Right, like, did I actually stick to it?
Did you stick to it? What worked? What didn't work?
Yeah.
And this is where that back pocket in the Stallion journal comes in handy because you can just jot down a few notes at the end of the day,
Right, like a little reflection.
a little reflection, and then you can use those notes to adjust your schedule for the next day.
Right, so it's like this constant feedback loop.
It is. It is. And that's how you make it a habit that actually works for you.
Yeah, that's so important.
Yeah.
So big picture now, like, what are the long-term benefits of actually doing this? Like, why should we bother with time blocking and a journal and all of this? Like, what's the payoff?
The payoff is huge.
Okay.
It's not just about getting more done, although that's certainly a nice perk,
Right.
but it's also about feeling less stress,
Oh, that's a big one.
like less overwhelmed.
Less overwhelmed, more in control of your day,
Right.
more focused.
Yeah.
And you actually start to develop good habits around time management.
Oh, I see.
So it becomes less of a struggle.
So it's not just about like the day-to-day tasks, it's like actually changing your relationship with time.
It is. It is. And you start to really understand how you spend your time and where you can make adjustments.
Right. So it's like a skill you develop over time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is when you use a journal like the Listallion, it actually makes the whole process more enjoyable.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because it's a beautiful journal, the paper's nice, it feels good to write in it,
Yeah.
it's well designed.
So it's not like a chore to actually use it.
It's not a chore. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah. Okay, so to sum it all up, what's the one thing you want our listener to take away from this whole conversation about time blocking?
The one thing is that time blocking can give you the structure and the focus and the control that you're looking for.
But it's not enough to just think about it.
Yeah.
You have to actually do it.
Right. Put it into practice.
And using a journal like the Listallion can really help with that because it provides that tangible space for you to plan and reflect and adjust.
Right. Like it takes it out of your head and puts it somewhere where you can actually see it and work with it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And those little details like the thick paper, the numbered pages, the weekly spread, they're not just random features.
Yeah.
They're designed to make time blocking easier and more effective.
Right. They actually make a difference.
They do.
Yeah. So here's a final thought for you to chew on. Think about one area of your life right now where you feel the most time crunched,
Yeah.
the most overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
What if you just experimented with implementing a few time blocks for those tasks?
I love that.
Right. Like you don't even need a fancy journal to start. You could just use a plain notebook.
Yeah.
Just see what happens when you actually dedicate some focused time to those things.
It could be a game changer.
Right. It could be the start of something really great.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with me.
My pleasure.
It's been really enlightening,
Yeah, it has.
and I hope our listener got a lot out of it too.
Me too.
All right. Until next time.